So you're gonna get the Frontier. That's like your free ship, okay? But let me show you something about that, because okay, this is a ship I got from a quest, okay? This is the one I stole this morning, and this is great because this is actually a C-class ship, okay? And this is the Razor Leaf. So this is two. So I have two of the ones I have are ships I got from quests. So, and this is, I'm pretty new to this universe, so, but let me show you something about that. So, all right, let's say the Watchdog. Oh, okay. So, well, let's see. All right, let's do this one. So first I have to register it. Okay, and I actually have a mod that makes the registration cheaper. Usually it's almost the price of the ship, which I don't know why they did that. That's silly. If you have a free ship, it's not going to be, it shouldn't be, when you go get a license, you don't pay $30,000 for your license, if the car was $40,000. So I just think that's silly. But so I have a mod that makes it cheaper. But if you want to like do something with this ship, and I have a little mod that does this, so I can, what I can do, I have a mod that does this, and I'm actually testing this mod. So you go down to this, open up the remote ship builder, but usually you'd have to go to one of your bases to work on ships, but I have this mod, so I don't need to do that. So it's kind of nice because I can show you right now. So you can open up the ship builder, pick what ship you want to work on, okay? And all right, so this thing's like a real pile of junk. So, but it actually has a couple nice pieces. So you can open up the ship builder and double click on one of the pieces, okay, and then just backspace. But I'm not sure what you would do on PS5. But so somebody that uses a controller, you'll figure it out. But you can actually get rid of the whole thing and then build your ship from scratch. And what I like to do is I like to lay out my habs first. So I'll use kind of vanilla habs just so you can kind of see like what you're doing. So then you can actually make your ship any way you want. You can make it really huge, you can make it really small, and you basically have to have, hold on, I'll show you something. Okay, so it'll tell you, like, see how on the side here on the left it says passenger slots? So you want to have some passenger slots because there's missions that you can do where you take passengers and you take them to another place, okay? So that's like a really early in the game, that's a decent way to make some money. You can just take all those kind of missions. So you want to have some passenger slots, and then you also want to have crew stations. So you'll look through here, like this one, hull, it doesn't really add anything. Captain's quarters don't really add anything. A computer core adds a crew station, and then this one adds 4 crew stations. So that's great because that means you can have more crew. Okay. Now, kind of a trick, like let's say you want the crew stations, but you don't really want that particular hab because you want to decorate it yourself. You can actually go here to the empty ones, the empty control station, and you can do this. So you get the crew slots, but you can actually decorate the inside however you want. You can put beds, you can put kitchen stuff, you can put workbenches, you can do whatever you want. So LB selects the whole thing and X deletes it. Okay. Oh yeah, thank you, ES Fox. So that's like, those are the kinds of things you want to think of. And then to, it says I have errors, right? So you can click on flight check and it'll tell you what you still need. So these are basically the things you have to count it as a ship. Okay, you have to have a fuel tank, you have to have a reactor, you have to have landing gear. So you can use this kind of as a checklist. So you can say, okay, I'm missing a cockpit, so let's pick a cockpit. So I'll go to cockpits, and I'm just gonna choose vanilla pieces for the sake of you seeing what a ship's gonna look like, kind of. There's different cockpits. So you'll see this one, you'll see this one. Let's see. This is basically a vanilla one. There's like kind of bigger ones. And you don't have to put them in the front like this. You can actually like put it here. This one will actually, you get on a ladder and you climb up into this one. So there's all different kinds of configurations. And if you just Google like, oh, and you can flip things. Oh, that's because that's a mod. Hold on, that's from a mod. Let's see. So yeah, let's see. And you'll see as you level up, like your shipbuilding skills, you'll be able to get ones that have more cargo space in them, that are just better. All right, I'm going to put this in the front for the heck of it here. So this cockpit is not a Deimos cockpit. So like each company will have a different look to it. The Deimos one is kind of military looking. I really like. There's certain Deimos pieces I really like. But okay. So then, all right. So we got our cockpit. So we can go back to flight, and we can see. All right. Ship is missing a docker. So I'm going to try to decide, do I want my docker to be on the top or do I want my docker to be on the bottom? So I usually like to put my docker, oh, whoops. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and just make it a whole Deimos ship. All right, we'll see. Okay, so I like to put my dockers on the bottom. And there's different kinds of like gear and decorations. So there's like tricks that you can do. So what I like to do here is I will do this little structural, and I'm doing it pretty vanilla just for your sake, because I can't imagine y'all are gonna have like every ship mod right off the bat. And there's a trick like where you can actually copy this piece. If somebody can tell, like you can actually, you do on PC it's Control G, but I don't know, and then you can actually flip it. So that's kind of a nice little thing. If somebody knows how to do that on a controller, that would be a nice thing to put in the thing. Okay, so we need gear. And I like this one. I'm gonna use the Dark Star version, but it's the same as this. I like the Dark Star version because it holds a lot more. It's complaining to me because it doesn't have. And I'm gonna copy this and flip it. Oh, except the Dark Star ones don't flip. All right, so G. I hope that changes actually. So I'm gonna go ahead and put a bay down here. So, and Oh, here's another kind of important thing that no one told me for a long time. So you see these little, if you see a circle here, this means that you can put like a structural sort of piece, like a bay or a docker or something like that. If it has a square like this, that means a weapon goes there. Okay? So sometimes you're like, why won't this piece stick? And it's like, oh, because that's a weapon slot. So you have to put, the only thing you can put there is a weapon. Y is the flip. Okay. So, but what I like to do is I'll just point to um, the little slot that I want to use, and then just hit G, and it'll tell you what parts you can put there. Um, that's a cool little trick. So I'm going to put a bay here, so you have to have some way to get into the ship, obviously. Um, I usually choose the Hope Tech landing bay, and the reason why is you see here it has little slots on the side. That's the only one that has that. That's, I mean, well, okay, there's one other one that does, but that's a different type of landing bay. I have a mod that that has decorated landing bays, so that's if you're like, how come mine doesn't look like that? That's going to be why. Um, so I like this one because I can put stuff down here. So like, it's a great place to put cargo, like these little cargo things. Or you can put fuel tanks. You have to have fuel tanks, right? So there's all kinds of different fuel tanks. And at the very beginning, you're going to be able to basically use this one. But then as you level up your shipbuilding, um, the engineer thing, then you'll be able to use like ones that hold more stuff. So actually, I really like this one. It holds a lot of fuel. So, gee. And one thing that's nice is, like, at first, you're not going to be able to put this here. You're going to have to put it there, but then you can move it up. So sometimes you'll just have to, like, put the part there like this, because that's where it wants to snap, but then you can just move it up. And as long as there's a place to snap there, it'll work. So that's another little trick. All right, so I got my gas. Let's see. We'll go back to flight check. So I need a docker, so we don't have any engines. We don't have a grav drive. Okay, so we need all that stuff. All right. So I think I'm just going to do this. I'm going to copy that. I'm just going to copy it and make another one. Okay. All right, so now I need all those little goodies, but I need a docker. So I like to put my dockers on the bottom, because then it doesn't matter how tall I want to make my ship. If I want to do a really tall ship, I can. So let's see. Let's go to dockers. Okay. So I'm going to just use that one. This is the Deimos docker. You're going to want to have some like cargo and stuff. So let's do that. You want to be able to hold stuff. Okay. So I want to hold a lot. So let's see. All right, that's probably the best one for now. So I got spots to put weapons. All right. So now I'm going to do... I need my reactor and my grav drive. Now, the reactor that you choose is kind of important, because it's going to kind of you know, you're making a choice. So like a lot of people like the the A reactors, and they'll use the A reactors because um, they can go faster. So if you just want a really fast ship, you know, people are like, it's not necessarily, oh, A is not as good and C is just better. Um, it really depends on what you want to do with it. So if you really love space combat, you might actually just choose to have an A reactor so that your ship goes as fast as it possibly can. Um, B goes a little bit slower, C goes the slowest. So, I mean, it's not a huge difference, but then you can only use A weapons, you can only use an A, you know, it's gonna, you're picking every other piece, the class of that piece. So, like, you can't have an A drive and then have C weapons, for example. Okay. Oh, no, no, it does. Yeah, that's kind of the choice. Yeah, you can. You can have a C reactor and the engine. Yeah, you can do that. So, but you can't go the other way. You can't have an A reactor and C weapons, for example. You're kind of, yeah, you can go down, but you can't go up, kind of. So, all right. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and choose. And I use Darkstar. One of the reasons why I really like Darkstar is because you can actually get these items that are small. Like you can, but I'm not going to use those here. Actually, I don't think I'm high enough level to use the Darkstar engines anyway. Uh, I kind of, what's funny about it is I kind of like this, the lower, I like it when I want to have a small ship, I kind of will use um, the B class ones just so I can not have these big monster-eyed things. Um, let's see, power 20 for real? Yeah, I'll usually end up using this one. But I also really like Falklands, so I'll use this one because you can actually walk around in it and stuff, which is kind of neat. Falkland's pretty cool. The only thing about Falkland is I can't seem to get it to work with Watchtower. I know people that say they can, but I have not been able to do that. So let's see, 44. And this is in Terry's stuff. Oh, 58. 58's nice. Hmm. All right, for the sake of this, I'll just make a vanilla ship. But you can get like like here this does it's like 26. So that's I mean that's not bad. I usually like to get as close to 40 as I can. Um 28. I just like to be able to power everything. I don't like to have to choose. So and I'll tell you, I did, you know, people are like, mods or not mods. I did actually play my first, probably to level 50 or so with no mods. And then the first mod I got was Star UI, which I don't know that you're going to be able to use on a PlayStation because I just liked the UI. But so I don't know. What was the first mod you guys got? What was the first mod that you ever got? Let's see. All right, so now I need a grav drive. You know, I could just do this here, this way. All right, so let's get a grab drive. I just went for the C. I wanted it to have as close to 40 as I could, so. Grab drive. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. I can get those, but I can't get the engines. Huh. Hey. Well, if I can use the Dark Star ones. So you can, this is what I like about Dark Stars, that you can make, you just have a lot more ship flexibility, because you can use any piece and it's still C. Let's see. I'm going to put this up here. Wonder why I can use that, but I can't use this. That's so weird. I'm like so excited about those like triangular engines. Are you guys like excited about that? I'm like so freaking excited about that. I mean, it looks so cool. Okay. Uh, let's see. I think I'm gonna put some kind of engine here. Gee. Okay, so the Dark Star engines, they have a lot more, like you can use any of them and they'll give you the same amount of thrust and everything, so you don't have to piece it together, which is nice. Let's see. I kind of like the look of this one. So I want to get as much of this maneuvering thrust as I possibly can. Um, so this is 3 max power. You can basically do 12 max power. This is from a mod. I love these. Okay, but we're trying to trying to be vanilla. Okay. So, okay. For the sake of our PlayStation brethren. Okay. Okay, so I want to get this as close to 100 as I can. I've made ships that had, I don't know, like, you know, 70 or 80 mobility, and that's fine. Really, you don't want to, I would say, I don't know, I wouldn't go lower than 70. If you see lower than 70, you got to change something, I would say. Okay. Hey, Kills in the Night, welcome. Okay. And I'll tell you, there's mods that let you, like, if you're, old man and you want to have, like, all the engines. Oh, what just happened? We reached a follower goal of 420. Oh, that's nice. Thank you, everybody. Okay. If you want to be, like, old man and just have, like, all the power, there's mods that you can get that will give you, like, decorative engines, which is fun, So, like, you can go to structural, and the one I use is Cross Heavy Industries. So he gives you like more engines that are, um, let's see, like this one. So then you can even have more engines. Okay, so like, cause more engines, right? And then when it, you can like blind yourself when you hit boost. You can just blind yourself, because why not? Okay. Let's see. And then, all right, so let's see. So flight check. The docker's got to be on the outside of the ship. Um, okay. That's a bug. Let's see. Sometimes, why is it saying that? Okay, that's fine. We'll just do it up here. I don't know what it is. That particular piece will tell me that sometimes. So, okay, that's fine. So we got our docker. All right, so now you kind of want to do something, pretty, right? So, oh, and you can move this around. Like there's two, there's two little things here. So you could, you can make them higher, um, to make it a little bit more interesting. And you can look, basically you can make it that tall, right? So, and then if I do this, there's some structural pieces. Let's see. Let's get some structural pieces that make it cool looking. I'll try to use some vanilla pieces so you can kind of see what you can do. There's like, this is a very basic ship though, guys. I mean, there's people that spend hours in the shipbuilder, and like there's so much cool stuff out there. All right, let's see. I really like this. Let's see. Flip it. And since I got that, I'm gonna go ahead and do another. Okay, see, that took my mobility down. So I can actually add another engine still. So let's see. So what I might do is take this out and do. Let's see. Do this. These are like my favorite little Firefly engines. Okay. 57. Huh. Huh. And, if I wasn't trying to be vanilla right now, I would totally just use Dark Star engine. That would take care of it, but let's see. I mean, really, I could even just do another set of these. Five, 7. Huh. Now I have a mod that lets me, like, it's called Shipbuilder Configurator, but you could just do this. There, it's still fine. And actually, I'm gonna do this then. All right. 82. Good night. That didn't even solve the problem. Jeez. I mean, but that's probably fine anyway. Okay, so now we want it to look cool. So let's see. There's all kinds of like different like structural pieces and stuff. All right, what's the flight check? Missing a shield. Okay, so let's take care of the shield. I like to put my shield on the back. Huh. And I like literally can't even do that. Let's see. I think I can put this on top. Okay, yeah, it's fine. It's still underneath that little docker. Okay, so then there's like all kinds of pieces that you can do. to make it look cool. So let's do that. All right, so we got all these cool structural pieces. These little equipment plates, those are for putting, like guns and stuff on. So we're gonna, let's see, we're gonna stay with our little Deimos theme here. And, gee, let's see. And then I can actually add more of these. Okay. Gee. Ooh. And there's all kinds of different varieties of them. I like this one that has like the little grill on it. And there's kind of ones you can like flip them back and forth. I always like this one. This one, the only thing about this one is it doesn't have a place for your guns. So I think I'm gonna use that one. And also it's not gonna interfere with that. So all right. So yeah, so I'm not merging. I was trying to be kind of vanilla here, so. And there's like little, just purely decorative pieces too. Um, like these. Oh, this one's nice because it has actually. I like this one. Let's do that one. Um, so it has these little spots for weapons, and then, gee, we can put one of the little front pieces there. Okay, so this is pretty utilitarian here. Okay, so now the fun part, you get to start putting your guns on, right? And I've made ships that are ginormous. This is just like a really basic little tutorial here. So this is nice because I don't really need any equipment plates or anything. So um, if you're having trouble with the ship, like there's a pretty steep learning curve for the space battles. So if you find yourself having problems, what you want to do is, as fast as you can, get enough points in shipbuilding where you can get turrets. And once you have turrets, it's kind of easy mode. Um, and and it was nice because that kind of helped me out until I was able to just really get good at the space combat. Now I'm pretty good at it, but it took me a while to kind of get used to it. Um, so let's see. The What you'll find is you want to do the Vanguard quest. The Vanguard weapons are actually really good if as far as vanilla goes. Um, so you want to join the Vanguard. They have these little particle cannons. So they have like really good stuff. Let's see. I really like these. These are pretty good. Um, you kind of want to look at this fire rate versus what the damage is versus the range. You don't want to have a bunch of weapons that only have 800 range. You want to have some that can give you some space and still do damage. Um, so you can like flip these around and make them point whatever way you want. You can copy and paste them. Oh, except sometimes that doesn't work. But if you just hit G, it'll usually give you the same one. Okay. Got to watch that height here. So if I put a weapon up here, it would probably give me an error. So let's see. And then you can, they're kind of different heights. So you can actually, like here's something. Let's see. You can actually put weapons here. Let's see. All right, as far as like vanilla weapons go, I guess my favorites are probably, the obliterators are just, they're good, but don't get the one that only does 1 fire rate. Get the one that does a little bit less damage but does 4. Okay? Let's see. I want to see if I can. The helion beams, but you want the one that does 5. So as far as like, vanilla weapons, I would get this probably. Let's see, is there a C class version of this? Hmm. Oh, I think I probably just can't get it yet. Let's see. So this one is 4 at 21, and the helion beam is 5 at, yeah. So this is the one I usually end up using. Actually, and you can put as many of them as you want, and then eventually you'll just get something that says, "Hey, you're using, you know, too much power for your weapons." And look at that power. This one is only max power 3, so that's actually really good. So let's put a couple more of those, and it'll give me a warning saying, "Hey, you need to put more stuff," but you don't really. It's fine. This is gonna kill everything very nicely. When I'm doing Watchtower, I'll use EM weapons because I won't necessarily want to kill everything. Um, and be aware that these give you crew capacity. So take a look at that too. So now I can have like crew of 6 because I have all those weapons. All right. So this last little part I have to do is say what button I want these weapons to be on. So the only one I really need a button, I mean, I have to give it a button, but that I'm going to actually use. So use your favorite button for this for the first one, and then you can do the turret, and you can't fire the turret, it's automatic. So that's it. So it's telling me, hey, you need another thing. Oh, now the fun part. So you can double click one piece, and then I hit J. Oh, I'm not sure what button it is to color your ship. Maybe someone could put that in there on a controller. But you can choose the color. Now, what I like to do is I pick my colors first. So, and I'll show you what I mean by that. All right, let's say I want to make a red ship, okay? So, ooh, yeah, I love this color red. But you can slide this around and make it more, Corvette red, or, granny minivan red, whatever you want to do. Um, I kind of like a darker red. All right, accept. And then I like to do like a gold. So I'm going to double click that, hit J again, and then I'm going to make my gold. Let's see. And you can change this. You can make it more green, you can make it more orange, like more like a copper. Okay, and then just kind of, when you get it the way you want it, I think I want it to be more yellow. Hmm. Okay, accept. All right, so now, and oh wait, let me make my black. If I want to add some black. All right. You can do like a lighter gray. Okay, and then accept. Okay, so now all of my colors are on there. So these are the colors that I made, basically. And I like to make everything this color first. So that's going to be my base color. So now what I'm going to do is, you can kind of, for me, I can hit control and then click on stuff. So I'm not sure how you do that on a controller. Maybe someone will tell us. Okay. All right, and then hit J for color, and then I'm going to use this. me see what this does. Oh yeah, there we go. Okay, so I'm gonna take that back, hit enter, and then I think I'm just gonna do these. Add more of that gold. And then maybe just kind of looks like Iron Man. Okay. Huh. There we go. And so whenever you have it the way you want it, you can just... Oh, maybe I'll put... Oh, that's good. All right. So I don't have any warrant. I don't have any, things to stop me, so I can just exit. Oh, wait. The last thing, for under flight check, you can rename your ship. So you go down here to rename. So instead of the Junker Watchdog, we're going to rename it, and I'm going to call it the Iron Man. Alright, so there we go. So you got the Iron Man. You can come over here and take a look at the overview. If there's anything that's, oh, wait a minute, I want more cargo capacity, then you can go back in and add more to it. Which actually I probably am going to do. Let's see. I'm just going to add a little cargo. I'm going to go back and give myself engines, better engines later, but all right, let's see. Cargo. So I like this one, and it even kind of matches my Iron Man theme. Oh, look at that. You can kind of hide that. Okay, I'll put one on the other side. G. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and put my Dark Star engines here. Hold on. G. Because it's not okay. It's like... Yeah, see, that's 100 now already. But we'll go ahead and put that back anyway. I kind of like the being a little bit lower, like having a little bit of difference. Oh, wait. And as long as I don't leave the screen, it'll still have all my colors and everything. If you leave the screen, you'll have to like redo your colors, which is a pain. So, and I can actually, there are actually pieces that you can put back here to make things look cooler. Let's see, structural, like Deimos actually even has like a tail. I don't know if that's going to be too tall or not. So there's stuff like that. You can like decorate. Oh, I kind of like, if I was allowing myself to use mods, but let's see. Huh. This one lets you, yeah, there's all kinds of little things like this. Okay, hold on. That's just a Nova Galactic piece. That's actually pretty vanilla. There's little like radiator pieces that you can put in, make things look cool. Okay. Gee. And this is cool because you can actually put weapons on the sides of this. Gee. All right. J for. Okay. So yeah, you can really mess around. There's a lot of really cool builds out there. So let's see. Cargo. Okay, that's okay. There. And so look, I just leveled up my ship design.
Aha! That's
And then
handy.
you can actually also you can wait, let me say, since we spent so much time doing that, make sure you save after you make a new ship. Holy cow. Okay. You can actually then, I like to go ahead and walk in it, make sure things are the way I want them before I totally, leave. So let's do that. Let's see. Okay. Oh, wait, let me get it. Let me pick the ship. Remote ship builder. Okay. Uh, okay. And I like to, I don't know about y'all, but I like to like have themes. So I might make all of my ships, Marvel themed or whatever. I like to do that kind of thing. I just think it makes things fun. Um, okay. All right. So yeah, you definitely want to get on board and check. Hey Rick, how are you doing? Am I using this super mod? Yeah, I am actually. So this is what uh the empty hab looks like, but it still gives me 4 crew stations. And what I like about this is I can actually, you know, make it whatever I want it to be. So, all right. So here we got some beds and all this stuff. So now I can. What's funny is my preference would probably be to get rid of this and make this empty too, and just decorate the whole thing myself. Um, and then there's another mod I have. This is vanilla. You can actually make empty ship habs in vanilla. So this is what I wanted to show you. But there's a mod called Singularity Habs that remove these struts, which gives you like way more kind of decorating room. Um, so it actually takes out this stuff too, which this doesn't bother me, but I can add this back if I want it with better buildable walls and doors. So that's another mod that I use all the time. But this is great. Like this little area, you can um, totally vanilla. You can go to displays and put your weapon racks in, hold your guns. You can put mannequins to hold the spacesuits that you want to wear, or you want to save, and there's all different poses of them. So yeah. So there you go. There's our little ship tour. All right, I want to get my other ship back because I worked hard on that thing. More power. Yeah, that's right. All right. And just to show you, since you came in later, like you can literally make ships your house, like in this game. Like you can decorate them up, and I actually am a mod author, so I if the stuff isn't in the game, I just make it, put it in there. Okay, might decorate that later. This is actually the Supra. This is the Supra little ship, so all the pieces are Supra except for the habs. I just used one hab. I just used that singularity hab I was telling you about that takes the struts and everything out, so you can see what it's going to look like.
Gone forever.
So this is my house, basically. I have my big kitchen. This is from Tank Girls Mod Galactic Harvest. Um, this is from my mod. This is from Fireside. This fireplace. Um, this stuff's from Tailored Spaces. It's another one of my mods. This is these little dividers and these chairs are from. Oh, and actually the spice rack. That's from my mod that I'm working on right now. So, and a lot of this furniture is too. These are just vanilla. So that's just vanilla. This is from my new mod. And these are from Tailored Spaces. So these are I make mods to make it where I can like live on my ship. So that's what I wanted to do. So that's it.